Yes, indeed, folks, you are listening to Blue Please here on cynicalbrits.com with myself, Total Biscuit. It is time to venture into the murky depths. The void. It is devoid of common sense, devoid of any semblance of social skill. It is the BlizzCon 2010 Open Q&A. Indeed. Currently in the game, you can use the Dungeon Finder to put together 5-man teams within a battle group. Is there any possibility you can revisit that for making raids? Oh, please no. Please no. Here's the thing. Stop plugging! God, don't make it... Don't give them that functionality. I can't find anyone on my realm to raid with because I'm terrible and everyone's blacklisted me because I'm an absolutely awful and unbelievably obnoxious tard. Please allow me to infect other realms with my stupidity. The answer. The way we tune our raids demands the players use several compositions, buffs, and debuffs represented, and it's pretty hard to apply there. You may not always have the best players with you. That's not an answer. That's not even close to being an answer. But whatever, he's sort of kind of right. Oh, man. No. No. Cross-realm pugging. Cross-realm pugging. Cross-realm pugging of raids. Oh, the lack of accountability. Have you already seen how absolutely obnoxious people are in cross-realm pugs and battlegrounds? Because they know they're never going to have to deal with these people again. Unless they're, of course, incredibly unlucky. At least on your realm, you can be held accountable for being an idiot. If you're pugging with people that aren't even on your realm, oh God, it's such a terrible idea. People don't engage their brains before asking these questions. Just seriously. Next one. I was wondering if there are any plans in future to make races look apart more. When you place the same armor on either of them, they look pretty much the same. Either of them? You know what either means? You know what either means? When you say either, you imply that there are only ever two races. It's just... no. What does that even mean? It's like, currently there are no solid plans for this random thing that you came up with, but we're tossing some stuff around. That's like the, who are you? Stop asking me dumb questions. Yes, I will use the plague. In fact, I might even be dying from the plague at this very moment. They already do look different. Have you seen the difference between a Tauren and a gnome in bloody battle armor? Yeah, exactly. Next question. Any plans on adding a guild merging system? That sounds like a great idea. Now we can have not one... Where's the button? I'm sure I have it right here. Yes, indeed. Here it is. Maybe. Possibly. Where is it? Ah.
Not one, but two Jormungandr worms.
No. We don't have any plans for adding a feature, but merging a guild is easier to do due to the new guild interface. It wasn't hard to do to begin with. Disband guild, invite other guildies. Problem solved. Next question. I love what you guys have done with WoW. I love that there's a lot of strong female characters, though I wonder if we can have some of them that didn't look like they came out of the Victoria's Secret catalogue. Okay, answer to this. Go have a look at Therazane in Deepholm, and then tell me that that strong female character, actually the strongest, as far as I can tell, one of, if not the strongest female character in the entire game, based on the fact that she's a freaking giant elemental lord, is coming out of the Victoria's Secret catalogue. Because I can tell you that, if she's out of the Victoria's Secret catalogue, then, oh man, that catalogue has gone way downhill. Holy. Oh. I would not, in fact, hit it. That I can tell you. I wouldn't hit it with a gunship. Ugh. The answer is, which catalogue would you like them to step out of, then? Well, we feel you. We want to vary our female characters more in the future, so we'll pick different catalogues. All the female characters don't look like they're out of the Victoria's Secret catalogue. Oh, please. I don't know. I can't comment on this because I'm male. I'm not allowed to have an opinion. Let me guess. The person that said this was female, blatantly. There are a couple of things that... problem I've got, actually, is not so much that they look at the... They've come out of the Victoria's Secret catalogue, is that they're all wearing the same stuff out of the Victoria's Secret catalogue. You know, there's a lot of variety in that catalogue, and we don't get to see it. Stuff like Ysera is exactly the same model as... What's-her-face? What's the big dragon? The Lifebinder. Yeah, I can't remember her name. Whatever. Yeah, that big freaking dragon who, in Blood Elf form, is, well, not wearing all that many clothes. That said, if you were a dragon, would you care? I'm going to dress modestly. No! It's a freaking dragon! Dragon doesn't give a damn what you think! Oh, man. They don't all look like that. That's absolutely absurd. Okay, what else? With the talent tree overhaul, are you guys planning to do more passive talents? We're still in phase 1 of the balance, and those are currently going live, so we'll tweak them over. Although they were planning to have less passive talents, I thought that was the point. I remember reading about it, actually, when we talked about this on the show, when they first announced it. We're going to get rid of all of the really boring passive talents, and, oh, actually, we seem to have forgotten to do that. Are we going to add more? Yeah, let's add more passive talents. I think it's selective memory loss or something. I remember what they said, and now they're going back on it in a 180. Please don't do that. Passive talents are boring. Avoid them whenever possible. At least give them some kind of active component when you can. Next question. In PvP, some people can be crowd controlled up to 20 seconds consecutively. Switch to PvE, one target can be CC for 1 minute. Not much skill to that. Seems like more of a statement than a question. Pfft. Dumbass. Not much skill, guys. You see, in PvP, I can crowd control for 20 seconds, but in PvE I can do it for 1 minute. Guys, there seems to be some kind of skill ceiling disparity right here. Could we get it... Could we get it sorted, please, please? Please. Oh, please! It's such a dumb thing. It's like... Guys, why does this apple taste different to this orange? Oh. It's not the same thing. Not much skill. There is no skill involved in clicking a button 20 seconds at a time on a target that is going to do something incredibly predictable. You want to know why it was nerfed in PvP? It used to be really bad. I used to be able to polymorph someone for 30 freaking seconds at a time. Needless to say, that was nerfed. Why? Because sitting in PvP being polymorphed for 30 seconds at a time is really boring. Thankfully, we don't have to ask the PvE mobs whether or not they're bored by being chain CC'd. Sorry, what is your philosophy with CC now, and what might change in Canada? It's a different answer depending on PvE and PvP. Well done! In PvE, we want people to use more CC than they did in Lich King. We want stuff to be CCable as possible, and anytime we make something immune, there's a lot of consideration. Do we really have to do this? As it relates to the PvP, the approach we're taking now is to slow down the pace of the combat. Anytime you slow it down, then CC has less of an impact. Yeah. I suppose it does. And that's the easy answer to it. People obviously go into these BlizzCon Q&As with all of this pent-up rage. I'm a PvPer and I see some kind of inherent disparity between our playstyles. Give me this! Lich King has a lot of really cool abilities DKs could use. Have you given any thought to giving us Defile or Infest? Level 90 abilities right there, thanks. Yeah, that was odd. So, these bosses have all these different abilities. Have you thought about giving them to players? Oh, man. Are there any plans to add a legendary DPS dagger? No. Next question. Will I be able to get my Warglaives in Cataclysm? Yes, everything except for Atiesh, because teleporting to Karazhan is important at 85. Now, the funny thing is that I got emails by people saying, what do you think of the statement that teleporting to Karazhan is important at 85? They listen to me on a weekly basis and still they don't have a sarcasmometer. Next question. With all the specs being viable now, can arenas finally be balanced around comp instead of the viability of each class? I think we'll still have arenas balanced around viability, but we're always looking at changes. One change coming up for beta is that Mortal Strike will only reduce heals by 10%. Yeah, I noticed that. It's bizarre, isn't it? Makes it almost non-existent. But then again, you've also got things now that could apply Mortal Strike to basically everything. Yeah, weird. I don't really care. It's PvP. Next question. Did you not add a moose mount because you hate Canada? Let me just point this out for you. There are people that pay $150 just for the ticket. They stand in line for hours. They take time off work or school. They pay an awful lot more than that in travel expenses, hotel expenses, food, and merchandise. And they do all of that so that they can sit in an open Q&A and ask why they haven't added a moose mount. Just think about that for a second. Just let that sink in. Is that indeed, ladies and gentlemen, not the reason we cannot have nice things? Are we ever going to see the Emerald Dream again, aside from a phase? You can count on it, it's just a question of when, but you'll definitely see the Dream again and the Nightmare. Okay, cool. There's an awful lot of great mounts coming out. I was wondering about profession-created multi-passenger mounts. If so, engineering needs a minivan. Heard about the new Alchemy mount? It'll be fun to see who gets that first. Who doesn't want to mount their friend, I mean? Don't say that! It'll give people ideas! Have you never been to Goldshire before? Don't give people ideas! This is the same reason why the bloody Worgen female dance is terrible. I shall grope myself. It is fine. It won't give any furries any ideas. Ugh! Excuse me while I vomit and then die. Next question. Will the new Legendary be available in both 10 and 25 man? Yes. Next question. Because I originally liked the idea you had about lowering the talents, but now I really hate the fact that there's no uniqueness anymore. Everyone is in the same number and combo of talents at the moment. Are you ever going to extend it again for more options? That's an interesting one. Do you think the specs in the deeper trees were very different to one another? They weren't. It's a new design. The last 10 points are the most exciting ones to spend. We'll see what specs develop. Hopefully we can tweak things, and there were cookie-cutter specs before this change, and there probably will be for some time as well. Well, there will be, when you think about it. He has a point, you know. And the point of Blizzard is fairly valid, honestly. Why is it valid, you might ask? Well, because, yeah, that is exactly how specs used to work. You just get the ideal spec off EJ, you implement it, and suddenly you are optimal. As it stands, the talents in beta certainly aren't that bad. I think they could still use a little bit of work, but I do kind of like having to choose between certain things. The bigger problem that I have with that is that it just encourages speccing between one thing and another. And it just, like I said, is there really any point anymore to the idea of having to go back to town to respec and things like that? But like I said, I don't think they've done a terrible job with the talents thus far. They're not bad. They're fairly reasonable. Okay. Next question. Do you intend to make anything except heirlooms account bound, pets, achievements, etc.? Sure. Next question. Don't care. I would like to ask for a closet. We get all this awesome stuff from events, but have no place to put them. You do. It's called a bank. Next question. The Horde currently has 2 very good battle cries. Can you give some characters what? Can you give some characters somewhere to shout back Alliance? What? That doesn't make any sense! These people, they can't even speak. They get nervous in front of their idols. You want to know why you can't have a manly battle cry as the Alliance? Because you're the Alliance! Next question. You stated that you want Mastery to dynamically change up some of the gameplay, but some of it is just flat damage bonuses, not very exciting. Crit makes you hit harder. Haste makes you do more things. Mastery generally makes you better at what you do, particularly for mages. Haste does a pretty good job at that already, but the goal isn't necessarily to modify your rotations. Well, yeah, it's just an extra stat that gives you some options, and it's going to be spec dependent. Nothing wrong with that. Extra stats are kind of cool. This is why I sort of approved of getting rid of all of the crappy stats and making some new stats that actually influence the game a little bit more and give you more choice in terms of reforging your gear. This is good. Or is it? I'm working on Insane in the Membrane. With all the changes to Diamond North, will I still be able to achieve this? The biggest problem with the changes to the Bloodsail Buccaneers, that kind of put a bullet in that feat of strength for now. It's fun to do painful things in WoW. No, it's not. If there's a huge outcry for it, we'll try and put something equally brutal in the game. Yeah, by the way, guys, you're not going to be able to get Insane in the Membrane after Cataclysm launches. So that is a very good thing indeed, and also addresses the concern of what I said last week in regards to Insane in the Membrane becoming trivial. Even though I don't care about it, other people do. Oh, man. With the existence of Pandarans being hinted at, are Pandarans still being excluded away? Stop. Will you stop with the bloody Pandarans? Oh, please. In terms of voice acting, I noticed that Metzen is missing from the panel. Every new major character sounds like Thrall. Are you guys willing to open auditions for players? Oh, no! No, don't do that, guys! Don't! Have you seen most Machinima? Tell me that you really want players voice acting things. At least, just get professional voice actors that also happen to play the game. I can think of one or two off the top of my head. I'm desperate for another character slot. Pfft. Give us some more room. This is kind of mean. Do you need 12 for your 12-step program? I can offer you another 10 slots for $15 a month. Yeah, but the thing is, you would do this! And I know the joke is, oh, buy another account, but I know for a fact, Blizz, that you would actually sell extra character slots. So don't make jokes about that. We've seen what you are willing to sell already. You will sell extra character slots if you think there is a market for it. So don't make jokes about that. I would call it self-deprecating humor, but I don't really think he realizes just how true it is. Next question. I have a lot of low-level friends. Oh, cute. Are you planning something for me to quest with them without being penalized? Yeah, sidekick system. Go and steal it, Blizz. You know it's a good system. Loads of other games have it. Go steal the sidekick system. Just do it. Just do it. Right, we're not going to do class stuff, but we will get to the end of the general stuff right here. People love legendaries. Maybe trade them in for an heirloom version so they can level with it. That'd be awesome, but we don't want people feeling like they need to go back to old content to get legendaries. So, disable the legendaries. Why is it that we can still even get them? You know? Why don't we just give them to the people that got them when they were worthwhile and said, hey, you did something really, really cool, so why don't you have a BOA version of it? But everyone else can't have it! Oh! Oh, please. Why is it that everyone else has to have everything? It ceases to become special if everyone has the bloody legendary. Next question. When are we getting a Tabard tab? Get a mod? Any better plans to integrate the TBC races into the lore? We've kind of failed at bringing Draenei into the WoW culture. We tried to do it more with Cataclysm. We're not there yet, but it's better. Well, they are freaking aliens. You know what you should do? Just do a District 9 thing. Herd them all into internment camps. Bloody prawns. Fucking prawns. Next one. Let's finish this, shall we? About the balance between Alliance and Horde characters. Now I have to level up all my characters. It's going to be 20 versus 100 Horde fighting. You just need a better battle cry. Why do you keep thinking of this? I mean, people have this strange idea that their tiny little microcosm also reflects the entire WoW community. It doesn't. This idea that, oh, Alliance are terrible at PvP. Factually false. It's just the little perspective that you have. People have this idea that their subjective view on things is actually fact and indeed cosmic frickin' law. It's not. You don't get 20 versus 100 Horde all the bloody time. It's going to vary on a server-by-server basis, and you know what? There's not going to be 100% balance on every server. Indeed, there's not going to be 100% balance on everything. Holy crap, that is insanity. I never realized that would be the case. We'll have a film at 11. Deal with it. If you don't like it, move to another battle group or another server that has a balance that's more in your favor. And then, of course, the other side can cry that the balance is skewed. Ugh. Never-ending cycle of whining. Could you make the heroic training dummy more interactive? Well, I suppose scrubs need something they can beat. Next question. Are you going to implement the dance studio? Oh, go to hell with the dance studio. Is it... I like this answer. This answer is good. Let me read it for you. Yeah, well, you get the Worgen and Goblin dance. They're pretty awesome. We've been doing some work on that. we just want to see when to introduce it. We need to make sure we add a lot of new dancers. Whenever the animators have free time, we make them do new dances. Oh god, that's horrible. Make the new dancers! And you've just got Metzin on the back of these drums at the back on boom, boom, boom. Animate! Animate! Animation is... We wanted it to be a cool feature too. There wasn't much gameplay in the barbershop, for example. We want to add more gameplay. You have to... Oh god, no! It's DDR in WoW! Don't do it, Blaze! You know you don't want to do that. They're gonna do it, aren't they? Oh, they're gonna add it. They're gonna add it. Oh, no. We had enough of that with Hagen. Next question. Are you going to add more alchemy research things? Probably. Next question. Blood Elves weren't a large part in Wrath of the Lich King, and is Lorthamar actually going to be a leader instead of just a regent? The amusing thing is that somebody said reagent. This transcription is not good. Is it going to be a reagent? Yeah, guys, we're going to need to go farm again. I need 5 more Lorthamars to make our flasks. In Cata, we have a new faction. They counter to the Explorers League. Lorthamar is absolutely being developed into a more leadership kind of guy, and we absolutely want to put him in the front. But you can't, because he's got terrible quotes. Do not touch the hair! Oh god, guys, don't touch the hair. I'm way too good at that. Will there be predictable high damage phases where healers and tanks can plan their cooldowns together? We have planned areas and some bosses where you need to coordinate your cooldowns. Yeah, and we've actually seen some of them, and they're fairly freaking crazy. I'm gonna do one class thing, just because this one is relevant. It keeps getting asked at every BlizzCon and never gets fixed. Blade's Edge Arena. I'm on a bridge as a mage, and I blink backwards. I mean, what the hell? Well, when you blink, make sure you're facing the right way. Don't give me that, Blizzard. You know the bug is there. It's been there forever. Please. Anytime we find bugs like that, we absolutely try to fix them. The geometry, especially like Blade's Edge. Things don't line up correctly and it causes a hiccup. We try to fix that. And consistently, I might add fail, and have done so for the past 6 years. Fix the blinking. Oh my god. Deal with the codes. What is wrong with it? I don't know. I like the fact it's like, try blinking in the right direction. Like, somehow that's going to fix it. If you've ever been a mage, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My name is Total Biscuit. I want to play some propaganda for you, Sepultura, since that's mostly what that Q&A was. I'll be right back, and I think I'll do my own Q&A with blackjack and hookers right after the break. Send them in, themurloc@gmail.com. Any questions you happen to have about claticalism. That's when you drop it on the floor, folks. Claticalism. Sepultura, enjoy. I'll be right back.